Wicked Witch of the West is just not something that, if you had told me that when I was little that I was going to be playing that character, I wouldn't have believed it. I mean, this
Hi. So my question is, in which way do you want to develop more as an actor, as a singer? Because for my part, I was totally obsessed with your songs, and seriously, I have had an earwig for 1 week of this milkshake song, and it was really good. And so my question is, what do you like more, and how do you want to combine those things or connect?
Thank you. It's funny you bring up milkshake. I was actually on Instagram in a black hole somewhere, and some girl was painting Patrick Star from SpongeBob on her wall, and she had the milkshake song in the background playing, and I was like, oh my god, that's me! I love acting more, but I'm trying to be courageous enough to also pursue music, even if it's just in a small way. I do hope one day that I'm lucky enough to get an Oscar. I don't know what that would be for or when it'll happen. I hope it happens. But I also kind of hope that I get to sell out a giant stadium and just play music and sing and dance and have a great time with everybody who's there. I would freaking love to do something with KJ. I know he's gonna be a rock star. I just know it. And if I could get back on stage with him one more time, I would love to. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
So my questions are a little bit more about Once Upon a Time. First of all, I really liked the series. It was so great. So my question to you is, what do you bear in mind about Once Upon a Time specifically, and what do you like the most of your character?
I think Once Upon a Time was really special because I think it transported people literally to another universe, and I think the reason shows like that do well is because it takes you out of your real life and you get transported into another world. You're in Storybrooke or the Enchanted Forest or Oz, and you get to kind of disappear and go on a magic carpet ride, which was really great. And playing the Wicked Witch of the West is just not something that, if you had told me that when I was little that I was going to be playing that character, I wouldn't have believed it. I mean, this is a character that terrified me as a child, absolutely terrified me, and then I got to terrify children, which is amazing.
When you say it's terrified you, was it difficult for you to emphasize with such an evil, more or less evil character?
Weirdly, yes. I don't know why. It's very strange, but I think when you're playing someone that's quote unquote a villain, what I liked about the way the writers wrote it and my understanding of villains is that it's not that you're bad, because villains believe that they are good. So when I've done something terrible in my character, I believe that what I was doing was right for me, and it was what they deserved because I had a hard time, and it's someone that's had a really difficult life. And I really like playing people that are very flawed or had a very difficult life. I find that really interesting. So villains, I think a lot of villains think and believe that they are actually heroes. They don't understand. They don't see themselves clearly,
Yes. And can you give us maybe a little imitation of your witch laugh?
No.
That was so great. And if you think back of your time before acting, do you had an inspiration which persuaded you to act and to start this career?
There wasn't really one person or one actress that made me think, oh, I want to be like them. It was more that TV was a very big part of my life growing up. When I came home from school, sometimes my parents would be at work, my big sister would still be at school, so TV became a big part of my life. It was like my friend, my family, and the characters in the TV shows I watched felt like my friends, and when I would watch Friends, they were my friends, and I was in Central Perk having a coffee with those people. I understand why people love television so much. I love it. I'm either making it or I'm watching it.
So, do you have a favorite character you would really like to play one time, or you could feel into it?
Not specifically, but I would love to do something British. I've never worked in the UK. I'd love to come home to work. I'd love to do something that's like a period drama that's set in maybe like the 1800s, or or something like Downton Abbey, something very sort of old English. That would be really cool. And then even something maybe more fantasy but British, like the new type of Game of Thrones or something like that, I would love to be a part of. And it'd be nice if it's shot in Europe too, then I could come home.
Yes, totally. Do you have some new projects you maybe can tell us about, where we can see you in the television?
I'm taking a break to make a baby. So once the baby comes out, then I'm going to start thinking about what I want to do next, and also, where it's going to take me in the world. I have to now think about somebody else. So I'm excited to see what's next.
Nice talking to you, and I see the panel of you, and I see the audience is gone crazy, especially when you sing. So how much does it mean to you? We talked about the musical episode a few minutes before, so how much does it mean to you singing? Because I think you give so much of your personality to the audience when you sing.
That's really nice to hear. I love the reaction that I get from singing, because even when I do that, I still get nervous. I was nervous before I started singing. I was nervous when I was done. And I like actually not so much the applause afterward.
Maybe remember some nice funny set memory, because I'm collecting behind the scenes stories. And maybe some weird thing happened, some crazy thing, some ridiculous thing.
Honestly, I don't really have many stories like that. Things are pretty, it's like boys will be boys and they play pranks on each other, and like, it's not really so much on set as it is probably offset, like when we're, in the trailers or whatever. I think Charles got his head stuck in the door at one point or something.
Okay.
And KJ and Charles are often like trying to do more push-ups than each other in between scenes. Just weird behavior. But I spend most of my time at Crafty eating, so I miss all the weird things.
I like the push-up story. So typical male.
Yes, very typical.
I can imagine you stand next to them and say, okay, that's so.
Oh my God! Actually, that does remind me. We were shooting this year's musical episode, and we were all in the little green room at the school we were shooting in, and all of the guys. It was KJ. Oh, was it KJ? Charles. I want to say Sweet Pea, Jordan, and Drew. They were all in a line on the floor. They were trying to do more push-ups than each other, and then they were trying to do who could hold the longest plank, and it ended up being Drew. It was down to Drew and KJ. They kept coming neck and neck, and KJ kept losing. But that was ridiculous. That was a ridiculous day. Yeah. I wish I could have met you today. I'm so sorry, but I hear wonderful things, and I'm sending you hugs and love and kisses.
We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow